right. Hello, hello. I think I'm realizing I did not turn my notifications off. Normally I try and switch, but hopefully it'll be okay. Notifications off. Normally I try and switch. Okay, sound is on. All right, we are here. We are live. It is happening. Hello, everyone. It is so good to see you all. Already enjoying hanging out in the chat, which just makes my day to see you all just kickstarting without me. As many of you hopefully already saw in the chat, basically Ben, my husband, just got home right as I was about to start this, and he's going away for the weekend. So I wanted to see him before I came up to do the live so that we could have an official goodbye before he heads out for the weekend. And so that is why we're starting just a tiny bit later than normal. But let me catch up in the chat here. If you haven't already said hello in the chat, please go ahead and do so. If you're new, my name is Kelsey Lee, and this is the monthly journaling club. And we are in our, I guess, well, 12th month, 11th month, I don't know. It's always confusing because we're in December, but we're reflecting on November, so I call it the November session, but I'm kind of wondering if in the new year I should call it our December hangout and then we just document the previous month. I don't know, you guys let me know what you think. So let's see, we've got Bree here, always fun to see you. Belinda is here, Kathy, Marion from Raining, Washington. We've got Jill and Sarah, Johanna, April, Anne from Connecticut. Cold and windy. It's so cold here, and it's going to be freezing tomorrow. And Ben is actually going hunting. That's why he's going away for the weekend. So I feel for him having to sit out in that cold, cold weather. Snowy and cold in Syracuse, New York. 6 degrees. Yeah, not quite that cold yet here in Pennsylvania. We've got Michigan. We've got a lot of cold located people hanging out with us tonight, this wintry evening. All right. Worth from Alabama. Yeah, give us some of that. And Wisconsin, 11 degrees. This is like a competition of who's in the coldest place right now. So hopefully all of you who are in a very cold location have yourselves a warm cup of cocoa or tea. I am sipping on some hot chocolate here that I put some homemade whipped cream on. I made last night hot chocolate with homemade whipped cream as we were decorating the tree, and so I have some of the whipped cream left over, but it's a little melted now, but I imagine it'll taste just the same. If you know what that quote is from, congratulations. All right, so, ooh, that tastes so good. Hot chocolate is in hand, journal is here, and we are ready to go. And my husband is texting me to ask if the dog is fed. So I guess I should respond to that and let him know so everybody is aware. Yes, I did feed the dog. Ooh, an iced caramel latte. That does sound good, though. It definitely sounds like not the thing I would want in this moment, just with how chilly it is. Okay, let me see here. Yes, I fed the dog. All right. Great. So, as I said, this is the monthly journaling club where we, as you can imagine, document our lives 1 month at a time. And this is a little peek at what it has been looking like over the last several months. It is so hard to believe that today we're going to be documenting the second to last month of the year. We are currently in December of 2025. It's almost over, friends. It is so hard to believe, but we always get to turn the page into a brand new year. And I know as journalers and planners, that's typically a time that we very much look forward to. And I know I am looking forward to diving into another year of monthly journaling with all of you too. So today, though, let's stay in 2025 and turn the page and jump into a brand new month and a brand new page. If you are new and are curious, the journal that I am using is a Dingbat. It looks like this on the cover by this brand, Dingbats B5, or yeah, is that right? Yeah, B5 journal. So it's a nice large journal because as you see, I use a lot of photos and stickers and memorabilia. All of the stickers, for the most part, that you see, a lot of them on these pages are all available over on my Patreon. So if you're not already a member of my Patreon, I would love for you to check it out so that you get access to all the stickers. And if you want to head over right now and join as a free member, you will get access to this freebie, as well as many others. This is our month to remember prompt grid that is super helpful if you are just getting started with monthly journaling or even just need some reminders when you're in a month where you're kind of stuck on what to write about. And actually, frankly, November is a month where I feel a little bit stuck. I mean, things definitely happened. I do have photos here, and obviously, there were a lot of gatherings for the Thanksgiving holiday here in the US. But I feel like in terms of a lot of other, like normally I have a lot more clarity about little joys that I want to document or recipes or what have you. And this time I feel a little bit less certain. So I think this will actually come in handy this time around. And then on the back, there is also even more prompts that are even more in-depth questions to ask yourself for each of the categories, which of course spells out month because we love when we are neatly organized like that. So we have moments, observations, notables, tasks, and hindsight. So those we'll probably dig into a little bit as we are documenting today. And then, as always, for 2025, I have my bucket list. And I actually went ahead and printed out November and December on one page. This is a great tip if you like to work with smaller stickers, and maybe even if you're in a smaller notebook than what I'm using and need them a little bit smaller, you can try printing 2 pages to one piece of paper. So I just put November and December together, print 2 to 1 page, and now have them all just a little bit smaller for me to document. And the December bucket list collection was our final bucket list because obviously it's the last month of the year. So we are now literally able to say that we have an entire year of bucket lists that you can print out and document an entire year with these and plan incredible memories and experiences to be able to document them in your journal. You can print them all out immediately when you become a member on any paid tier. So these are all available for you. And I'm really excited about the December stickers. We have lots of great things. This one, obviously, I can already check off, which is make a cup of hot cocoa with whipped cream or marshmallows. And fun fact, if you become a free member, every single one of these bucket lists, I choose one illustration to share with all of my free members. And for December, this is the freebie challenge. So everybody is challenged to make a cup of hot cocoa with whipped cream or marshmallows during December, and everybody, free or paid, can download this sticker and use it in your journals, or you can join the Abiding Love tier and up and get all of them. So I'm very excited to kind of actually take a peek at November and see what I did because I haven't really taken time yet to think about what I have done. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna just cut these apart. How you print both of them together is basically what I do is I open both of the PNG files at the same time. So then at least on a Mac, it comes up that they're both open at the same time in like your little viewfinder. And then I just select both of them to print. So then it has page 1 and page 2 of the images, right? The two different sheets that you want to print. And then you just, in your settings, when you go to print, select print 2 sheets to 1 page. And then it will print both of them side by side. And at some point, I can maybe, hopefully, film a video that is all about how I print stickers and share exactly what that looks like on my computer and in the settings to be able to get them side by side. I have a lot of videos that I have planned and I'm thinking of for the new year, so it might be a little bit, but it's definitely one that I've been thinking about and want to do at some point for all of you. So for November, we definitely did go small business Saturday shopping. We always do that every year. So I have a photo with my mother-in-law here to document that. I did eat pumpkin pie with extra whipped cream, though I don't have a photo. I did try a new tea flavor and I saved the packet, but I can't remember. I'm like trying to remember where I put it. I might have put it, I thought maybe I put it in like my book here. Did I? No. Maybe not. Well, I'm not seeing it in there, so I'll have to take another guess. Maybe a lot of times I put things that I save in my wallet, so I'll have to go back and find it. And it was some holiday tea, I think from Harney and Sons. Let's see. I mean, I just go to my Finder. Sorry, just to get back to the PNGs and how I open. I just go to my viewfinder and then I select 2 PNGs at the same time and then double click to open, and then it opens in the preview. I don't know, is that an app? The preview app on a Mac? And then they both are in the left column so that you can basically see them at the same time. All right, so I did definitely at some point enjoy a cozy night in with no screens and just, I think we had like a nice night of just reading. I got some good deals for Black Friday, so we can check that off. And I did indulge in some Christmas music before the official season had begun. I think that's everything that I did. Basically the bottom half of our list here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10 would be my score. Let me know if you have been following along with the bucket list, what your score would be. How many of these items did you check off? The only ones I did not do but are on my list, I might be able to check this one off in December because I have some things saved up, are donate to your local food bank or homeless shelter, complete a puzzle, create a list of all the things you are grateful for, and make or buy a cozy accessory to bundle up in the colder months. Oh, that's great. You checked off 6. That is awesome. I don't know where my cute avian scissors are. I think I must have misplaced them when I filmed my video. If you haven't seen it yet, my most recent video was a journaling favorites gift guide, and I shared a bunch of my favorite things over there. See, these scissors aren't working well, so I need my other ones. Yeah, I shared a bunch of my favorites in that video, and one of them was my avian bird scissors that I love and you often see me use, but They're probably lying on the floor somewhere in this studio. Oh, I'm so glad you were able to check off 9 items. That's amazing, Kathy. What's the one that you weren't able to complete this year? Or this month, rather? 9 out of 10, that is a great score. That's an A plus score. Technically, I got 60%, which is like a D if we were doing a school grading. But I think for bucket list grading, a 6 out of 10 is pretty good. So anybody who is checking anything off, you know, that is a good score in my book. Wow, you already finished your November spread? That is awesome. I know we're a few days into December already, so some of you may have already worked on your November spreads. But I'd love to know, if you haven't, who all is working on their November spread during our hangout tonight. And if you're not working on your November spread, what are you doing? Are you journaling, something else? Are you just hanging out, doing dishes, laundry? That's actually one of the reasons, Kathy, that I didn't check that one off either, because I really don't need any more cozy accessories than what I already have. You completed 9 as well? Wow, guys, that is so great. That makes me so happy. I just really hope and pray that these bucket lists this year really have inspired you and got you to, you know, just maybe think outside the box a little bit about how to spend your time each month, and maybe even step outside a comfort zone, or just do something that you wouldn't have thought of, you know, making the effort to do, and just were able to make some really great memories as a result. That really was the point of this challenge of a year to remember. And I know I had a lot of fun thinking about the bucket list going into a month and trying to check off as many as possible. And I will say the great thing about these bucket lists too is that we purposefully designed them to be evergreen so that you can use them for any year. There's no items on the bucket list that are year specific. It's really just things that happen every year in that month or could happen. And so I hope that you'll continue to use the bucket list going forward. And if you're newer to the community and weren't able to really use them this year, I would highly encourage you to make 2026 a year to remember. Anna's also working on her November spread. You're going to start working on your December spread. Yeah, complete a puzzle is a hard one to easily check off as well. I'm sorry, Augustina, that your children are sick. That is not fun. I hope that they start feeling better soon, and I hope that you are able to all get some rest tonight. Lisa, welcome. It's wonderful to have you as a new member. And finished November. Wow, look at you. New and already on top of everything. Already finished your November spread. Jill's also working on November. That's awesome to be caught up. Yeah, the nice thing, you know, as I've said in previous videos about monthly journaling, is that even if you do fall behind, as we say in the journaling community, it's so easy to catch up, because you know, if you're 1 month behind, it really means you're just one page behind. So you just need to set aside an hour or two to do that page. And then just like that, you're caught up and you're ready to move on to the next month. Bertha, I love your comment in your brain because you're starting to think about what you would save already. Yeah, that is when you know that you're officially a journaler and have the mind of a memory keeper, is when every little thing you do, you take a moment and think, I think I might want to save this receipt or this wrapping, or take a picture of this sign to save in my journal. And so I obviously have to just cut out all my photos here because they were still in their collage. I try sometimes to cut them out in advance so you don't have to just watch me cut apart photos, but alas, I did not have time today. It was a work day. I mean, it's always a work day, except for weekends, but that is all right. And I actually got up earlier today and filmed a video before I left for work that will be out Saturday, most likely, which for all of my Christians and faith girlies is going to be another gift guide, but a Christian gift guide. So following up on my journaling, I have like 4 of those on my channel already, or 3 maybe. And I didn't do one last year, but I had a few items that I wanted to share, and so I thought I would do another gift guide this year. And so that'll come out Saturday, and I'm actually doing it as a collaboration with a friend of mine who goes to my church and has started a YouTube channel. Her name is Hope, and her YouTube channel is Noble Motherhood, if you want to go check her out in advance. Any moms in the hangout this evening, she is such a lovely woman and has a heart for especially you know, moms with young ones, and just has a podcast by the same name and just has really great conversations and discussions over there. So that is who I will be collaborating with for that next video. But yeah, I say all that because I feel like my brain is a little fried tonight from doing the filming. And then, you know, that's like an hour plus of just talking to a camera. And then, of course, I had a full work day and then just got home. And here we are. But journaling is a relaxing practice, and I enjoy hanging out with all of you. So it is certainly not a bad way to spend my evenings. I love Sarah and Janie are saying how they're gonna be more focused on monthly journaling next year and try to keep up to stay with us in real time so that they can be journaling fully along, which is awesome. All right, we can start. I'm gonna just like lay a bunch of these out, sort of where they fit into the month. Christmas music. And then, of course, I have my reading recap from the Storygraph app. So I'll have to put that somewhere. You know, I realized, unfortunately, it's too late at this point that I didn't get any photos from Thanksgiving except this one, which you can't even really tell what it is because it also got chopped off. But for Thanksgiving, I made a green bean casserole, which is not exactly the prettiest thing to photograph. But then I was also in charge of beverages, and so I made this mocktail, which was so easy but very delicious. It was just ginger ale, pomegranate juice, and then some fresh orange juice and some lime squeezed into it, mixed together, and then you put in the little pomegranate arils, you know, the little seeds, which made it so beautiful and pretty. And then you stick a little thing of rosemary, a sprig, that's what it is, a sprig of rosemary into it. And then it just looks like so festive and cute. It would be a really great drink for Christmas as well. It definitely has more Christmassy vibes. So highly recommend that one. Maybe I'll write like that little recipe actually on the page because it's definitely one I would like to do again. And then we have our tea. So I'll probably try and find that tea bag and stick it here. And then I did make some homemade chicken noodle soup. I think that was maybe one of the items from last month. Oh yeah, here it is. But then I have the photo, I thought from November. So maybe this should go back here. Oh well. Well, maybe I won't put this on this page. Now I'm confused about whether or not that happened in October or December, or November rather. Oh my goodness, I told you my brain is foggy. Yeah, I know. I try and be good about, you know, being the person, obviously, as a memory keeper who thinks like, oh, we should get a photo all together. But I was really bad that whole Thanksgiving weekend. I really just got this one of my mother-in-law and then this one of the little drink. And then, oh, I got this one of Ben, which, I don't know, not to be gross, but obviously, you know, he's a hunter and we eat a lot of venison. And so basically, every time post the first day of hunting, you know, hopefully he gets some deer. And then the next day is usually like a day of us butchering and prepping the meat. And so this is us like at the dining room table. I was vacuum sealing the bags, and he always has a cup of hot chocolate as he's doing his meat. So it's like wrapped in a bag. Anyways, I think it's funny. It's my journal, so it's going in it. Because it does, you know, it represents your life. And I want to encourage you to also put the things that maybe aren't like a cute photo. It might not be an aesthetic photo, but if it represents a moment that means something to you and, you know, is funny to look back on, whatever it is, you should put it in your journal. You know, don't worry too much about what it looks like. Think about what the memories are and whether or not that picture or sticker or whatever it is brings you back to that memory. I always have to try and keep up with my drink. I need to stop making hot beverages for my journal hangouts because I can never, you know, eat, oh my goodness, my brain. drink it all before it's too cold. And then it's not nearly as enjoyable when it's lukewarm hot chocolate, or lukewarm chocolate, I guess. It's not hot at that point. I also made a delicious chicken. This is not a turkey, though it looks like it is. I made a whole chicken with sumac for the first time, which is a spice from like the Middle East that kind of has a lemony zest flavor. And it is the best roast chicken I have ever made. It was so, so good. So that is one too that I want to record. And this is one that I'll put in my recipe journal at some point as well. I need to do that, but it was really delicious. Sarah, that's funny. Showing putting your teen tantrums in your journal. All right, this is a Friendsgiving photo. So in that way, I did capture Thanksgiving, but we had this Friendsgiving early in November, so still not quite the same. But let me go ahead and find my month sticker. I'm wondering where that is, actually. I would think it would be in here, but I'm not. Oh, here it is. Okay. I was a little concerned that I had misplaced our months, and of course that is very important. And then while I'm here, I'm also going to see if I have, these are all December, but I might get out some of these autumn stickers. There might be some that I want to pull from these collections. If you are looking for autumn stickers, I do have an entire collection over on Patreon that puts all of my autumn stickers in one place so that they're easier for you to find and be able to download and use. And I also put all of my Christmas stickers are in a collection as well. And I've been meaning to create one for winter, like just general winter. So I will be creating one, hopefully in the near future, for you as well. Just to make it easier for you to find all the stickers related to a season, because they're kind of scattered throughout the many years of being on Patreon. And that way you can just go to that collection and see all of the fall stickers or Christmas stickers in one place. All right, let's see. But you know what I should do? I just thought of this. If you are somebody who did not get to check this one off already on the bucket list, it would be really cute to actually create a little gratitude list in your November entry. And since I do not, as I said, I feel like I don't have as much to document this month, I think that is what I'll do. I think I'll maybe even get like a nice journaling card or something and create a little mini gratitude list. And then I can check off that item on my bucket list and use it in my journal. I already lost it though, so I'll have to find it. My desk is overrun already. So we're gonna put our November sticker up here. See, I could even use this one, the Thankful For. Maybe I'll do that. I'll use this, and I'll also use maybe this Celebrating. There's a lot of good ones on here. I'm gonna play with some of these, I think. Oh, yeah, we live, well, we are in the Harrisburg, Dauphin County region, but our families live in more of the Berks County area, if you're familiar with those. So like central Pennsylvania. But it's really funny, you know, when you think about, like you said, you grew up kind of cleaning and packaging deer post Thanksgiving. And Ben and I grew up, even though we didn't know each other, we grew up about 25 minutes away from each other. But our childhoods, you would have thought we lived in completely different worlds. I mean, he had a childhood of hunting and fishing and being outside all the time, and I had very much your like quintessential suburban. Well, I was actually in the city. I was like in an inner city of Reading, Pennsylvania, if you know that area, when I was very young. And then in late elementary school, we moved to another area that was a suburb. And then from then on, it was like just, yeah, very much like your suburb life. Like our weekends were going to a cute town to like go shopping. And meanwhile, you know, my husband is out there fishing and, you know, cutting up deer on his holidays. So it's just very funny, like how differently we grew up. And it's very funny because if you had told like my 16-year-old self that I was going to marry a hunter, I would have thought you were crazy, like there's no way. And I just had no idea of the world of hunting that existed outside my little bubble and how it was actually this, it was very loud cars, like a huge culture in Pennsylvania and, you know, many other places surrounding it. And I just, yeah, had no idea until marrying a hunter. And now I very much appreciate it. You know, it's a great way to have sustainable meat, much better than, you know, buying from the grocery store if you can. So we definitely love it for that reason. And it's healthier too. Ooh, peppermint extract in your hot cocoa. That sounds good. All right. Well, let's see. I guess we should probably glue something down. I was gonna cut these out. We'll see if we, I guess I will use it. I don't know. I'm debating if I want to use this in part because I wondered if I wanted something even bigger to write a little bit more on, but we'll cut it out and see what we decide to do. Hi, Megan. Thanks for joining us for your first ever monthly journaling club live stream. I feel less entertaining than I normally do, so I hope you'll join us again in the future. And I also feel like my page is looking very unappealing and unattractive because literally nothing is down yet, but it'll come together. It will come together in time. I do love from the November sticker kit, we have monthly kits for all of the months on Patreon. All of these little boxes that you can write in. I just find that super helpful for when you're trying to just be able to organize your page. It's nice to have the boxes to just like help put things in. I'm thinking maybe I'll use this as my corner this time. These would have been good too. I forgot I had all those, but we'll just do this one since I already cut it out. So I'm thinking if I could put that and then put November over it, which I lost. Oh, there it is. I'm like, I lost it already. Oh, it's so easy to lose things. That would be kind of cute, but then we'll still have to figure out something to do with the corner. You visited Reading a month ago? It's not, yeah, it's not the nicest of cities. West Reading is really nice. It's like the nice area of Reading compared to inner city. Okay, let's see. Sometimes it's easier to just flip the page over so that you can see where the sticker overlaps, and then you can just cut it down to fit the page. Doing this where you kind of overhang things off your page and then cut them down is a really great thing to do, to add kind of just some like nice interesting style, and to also make it feel like, I don't know, like things feel just a little bit more organic maybe, in that they're like coming out of the edges versus everything just being plopped in the middle of the page. So I do always, you'll see a lot of times, try and put things kind of off the edge of the paper. All right, November, it is on the page, yay. I'll bring you guys a little closer. So we could put like our thankful for. I know I said this is where I was gonna write a gratitude list, but I just think it's not gonna be enough space to like have a more thoughtful gratitude list. I don't want it to just be like family, friends, Jesus as the gratitude list. I want it to be a little bit more thoughtful. So instead I can just use this for layering, and then I'll put my photo ode for top. And then I can always write over here. Maybe I'll do that now with the Posca white paint pen. This is a great white pen to use. Friends. Friendsgiving. This is like our old Bible study group that we had a Friendsgiving with again this year, which was very fun. And I feel bad because poor Colin, His head is up here, but I didn't realize I cut it off. So, oh well. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that with like an laser printer. Yeah, I imagine it's harder to write on those. This is just plain sticker paper, so it stays on nicely. Just reading your comments, trying to catch up. I would love to know what's something you are grateful for in the chat. That always is nice to hear about. And then what I'm going to do is use this gratitude list sticker. Maybe even, yeah, like right here. And then under that, I think I'll have like a card or something. I'll have to look for one. I've got my giant box of cards. I'm always digging through. This one could be good. This is a staycation list, but I could kind of put over it, and then it would be at list 1 through 15. It's a pretty long list. And that would just be like one word each. And then I'd be giving up this cute side. So it does feel like this should be one that I leave as like a nice flip up. Maybe I'll save this for December when I have like 2 weeks off for Christmas and New Year's. And then I can make a staycation list of all the things I want to do. This is really cute. I actually saw a fox the other day, ran out in front of me, like across the highway too. It wasn't even like a normal place for it to be running. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of using this. This actually is these cards. I've been giving a lot of these cards away in Happy Mail, so some of you who've gotten Happy Mail might recognize these beautiful unwinding cards. If you want to find them, they're these postcards from The Unwinding and Other Dreams by Jackie Morris, and it's like a box set of these most beautiful postcards, and I just adore them. Now, because it is a postcard, it's thicker, so I'm going to do my best to separate the back from the image to just make it a little bit thinner for adding into my journal. Pro tip. Most things that are thicker cardstock are actually just layers of paper, so you can peel away the layers to make the image that you want to use, just a little bit smaller and easier to apply to your page. See, now it's nice and thin. You're grateful for your grandchildren. Of course, every grandma loves her grandbabies. Kids are waking up much easier in the morning for school. I can imagine. That is definitely something to be grateful for. Hi, Deb. Welcome. Never too late to hang out for the monthly journaling club. Glad you're here. Yes, that is a huge blessing, having family or friends that become like family, for sure. Okay, we'll put this glue on. I think I'm gonna get glue on these sleeves. Be careful. Okay, try and line this up straight and press it down. This is kind of fun because I feel like a lot of times with my monthly entries, because I'm trying to fit so much on the page, I don't use really big items, so it's just like a bunch of little small things. And I really do love the look of just like something nice and big taking up a lot of room on the page. And that is a great thing, you know, if it is a slower month where maybe there's less to document, just put a giant image that you love on the page. Yes, it is perfect for the color scheme with the orange. So pretty. Okay. So there we go, gratitude list, and then I'll write that list in here. And maybe I'll just put my books down here. So these are my November reads. I read Tom Sawyer, which we listened to this on audio and very much enjoyed it on our long drive to North Carolina for a wedding, right on the cusp of October into November. And so funny. It's very, very funny. And then I also read When the Day Comes by Gabrielle Meyer, I believe. And this is a Christian fiction novel where basically it's kind of like fantasy Christian fiction, but real world. It's hard to explain because it's kind of like time travel. So the woman in this is a time traveler where she basically lives two lives at the same time. And when she is in one life for a day in 17, I'm forgetting the exact year, in the 1700s, right before the Revolutionary War. And then she wakes up and finds herself the next day in another year in like 1914, I want to say. And then her whole life is just alternating between those two lives up until her 21st birthday, I want to say, where then she has to choose which life she wants to live forever. And I actually very much enjoyed it, especially the ending. Like, I think I would have rated it a little bit lower up until the ending, but then the way that she wrapped everything up, I just thought was really, really well done. And I didn't necessarily see coming, so I very much enjoyed that. I read Frankenstein, and that was my first ever reading of Frankenstein. I have it here. I read it with my mother-in-law and Ben. I love these painted editions. How gorgeous is that? And then you can see I have lots of little tabs because there definitely is a lot of great quotes and very thought-provoking as a book. I do not recommend the movie. We read it in part because we were excited to watch the movie, and then the movie was just a little bit more grotesque than I thought it needed to be. And then the final book that I read is this gorgeous edition of The Hiding Place by Corey Ten Boom. And if you've never read this, I highly, highly recommend it. It is actually, although very sad and difficult read, is filled with so much hope, and I think would actually make a good book leading into Christmas or maybe post-Christmas, just for the winter. And it's about Corey, who she and her family hid Jews during World War II in their home, and then, you know, they end up being found out. I don't think that's really a spoiler. And she is sent to a concentration camp. But through it all, she and her sister Betsy are just, their faith in God and the hope that they have and the way that they share it with others is so beautiful. Cannot recommend it enough. Really, really fantastic read. And I just finished reading her. She has another little, she has a lot of books actually that she wrote in her lifetime. And she has another one that's just Christmas stories. And so I just read that as well. And let me pop in the chat here because I see Alma. I'm so very sorry for the loss of your mom. As you know, I know how hard it is to lose a mom. There's nothing like it. And I'm so sorry that your whole month, when it's supposed to be about celebration with family, has been about heartache and trying to heal, and just prepping and traveling. So just be praying for you. Oh, and I'm sorry for your loss too, Bertha. Your younger friend, she's in her heavenly home now. Yeah, that's so true that life can change in a moment's diagnosis. You just never know. You never know. And that is why I, you know, if you don't already know Jesus, I just want to say, you know, I don't do too much preaching here on my channel other than just sharing my own heart. But I would encourage you to read this book and hear Corey talk about it, even if you're not currently a Christian and don't believe in God and Jesus, to just learn more about him through her eyes as somebody who went through some of the most dire and terrible circumstances, and how Jesus became her hiding place. I think you might really enjoy that. All right, so I'm just going to put my books here in the corner. And then what I think I'm going to do, even though there would be a great book from, or great book, a great quote from Frankenstein, I'm sure. I think I'm going to try and page through some of the quotes that I saved from The Hiding Place and see if there's one I want to add here into my journal. This one could be good. She whispered, "Dear Jesus, I thank you that we must come with empty hands. I thank you that you have done all on the cross, and that all we need in life or death is to be sure of this." That one would be a good one. Let's see what else I marked. In the Bible, I learned that God values us not for our strength or our brains, but simply because he has made us. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Oh, that's actually, I think, a Bible verse. that I just wanted to mark. And I think is that the scene where they realize, here, they're talking about how you have to give thanks in all circumstances, that God commands us to do that. Um, and as they're in the barracks, they're giving thanks for just being able to be there and preach to these women and share the love of God with them in these horrible circumstances. And her sister Betsy even thanks God for the fleas. And Corey is like, I don't think I can give thanks for the fleas. I'm definitely not going to ever understand why I should be grateful for the fleas. And if you haven't read it, I don't want to spoil it. But let's just say even the fleas had a purpose. And that is something that she reflects on in this book and something that came to light as they spent their time there. Yeah, I think the quote I'm going to put is this one on page 55. And we'll just write that here. I'll use my Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen to write that in. Sorry if you can hear my dog barking. Dear Jesus. I'm sorry, Belinda. I'm causing chaos in everybody's household right now. Yeah, it is. I love her dearly, but a dog's bark is just a grating, horrible sound. Oh, that's okay, Sarah. That's very sweet that you normally try to plan your time around the live stream and that your husband forgot and got you dinner, so go enjoy it. And you can always watch the replay. Thank you for the compliment on my handwriting. I will say, if you look at some of my old journals, you will see that my handwriting did not always look like this, and there is a difference. I will say my handwriting overall has gotten a lot better since I started practicing hand lettering. But I would say there is a difference between handwriting and hand lettering because it's definitely a slower, more methodical process to hand letter. So I thank you. With empty hands. Messed up that H a little bit, but I think we salvaged it. Oh, I'm so glad, Janie. I was just thinking about that show earlier today and how the new season I think is coming out in January and how excited I am for it. Oh, I'm so glad you're enjoying it. It is just a warm cup of tea. I'll say Alma and Bertha, I know you both are just going through a difficult period If you've never seen it, it is just the warm hug that I think we all need when we're in a darker season. So definitely highly recommend checking that out. Yeah, it's so good. I'm so excited for the new season. The books are fabulous as well, if you've not read the books. But the show just really captures the humor of the books so well. Right, I think you. Have done all all on the cross. And that all we need in life or death is to be sure of this. And in life or death. I think we're just gonna fit it. Be sure of this. Okay, there we go. We did it. And then we'll just write her name here. All right, there we go. Oh, I think my contacts like got dry doing that lettering. So I always love when I read a book that I really enjoy during a month, choosing a quote and then adding that into my journal. And so if you also are a reader, or if you watch a show, or maybe you found a new song that you really enjoy, or even a movie, there's always probably something that you're consuming and enjoying that you could pull a quote from. And it's also a great way to take up some additional space if you're feeling a little stuck that month about what to write. Just choose a quote. And if you don't have a quote from something you already read and enjoyed that month, you also can just pick a quote that has to do with the month overall. So look up on Pinterest or Google quotes about fall or quotes for November, and you'll probably find a quote that you could add to the page as well. All right, well, I'm really liking the left side of the page. Let's see about maybe getting some of this other stuff down. So we could like cut out some of these. It really is impressive how much this color palette in the Fox matches the color palette for this collection. Yes, I am always marking up my books now with tabs of quotes. Actually, you know, I saw this thing on some ad of, they were like selling it for some ridiculous price of basically like this thing that would be magnetic and you could like attach it to the cover of your book, and then you would always have your tabs and like a pen at the ready with, I don't even know what you would call it, but this thing that you could buy. And I was like, well, I could do that, or it seems like I could just maybe be creative and make my own. And so what I did, which I'm quite proud of because this is my go-to now and I think it's ingenious. You also, to be frank, you could just use them as a bookmark. So I bought these on Amazon, all these color tabs. They're very cheap. And you could use the tabs as your bookmark if you wanted to, but it definitely does slide pretty easily. So what I did is I bought some magnetic sticker paper. So it's just like stick-on magnets, and I put them on the back of 2 of the tabs so that I could stick them to each other on the front page or the back page in whatever book I'm reading. And then when I'm reading my book, I always have the tabs at the ready that I can just peel off and put in my book. So that is my little hot tip of the day. If you want some tabs that are always ready for you and always with the book that you are currently reading. All right, try and lay this out again. I think I'll just put this down up here. I don't really want to overthink my November entry too much. We had a lot of creative fun last month in October with a bunch of like pockets and tip-ins, which was wonderful, but I think we're gonna try and keep this one a little bit simpler and just glue things down. Glue and stick. Thank you all for your praise of my idea. It is necessity is the mother of invention. Yes, my stroke of genius. Ooh, let's see, small business Saturday. I've got I would like to say something about that chicken. Oh, and then I don't want to forget, look how sweet, look how sweet this photo is. I'm actually reading The Hiding Place in this photo, and then that is my friend's baby Archer. And so she went to get a shower, and then I was just holding him and reading with him sleeping on me. It was so nice. Actually, I should put that maybe over here. Yeah, I'll put that up here. Yep, a commonplace book is a great idea. I'm hoping to be better about keeping and updating one this year. Currently, I'll show you in a second. I had got a little mini sterling ink. I don't even know what the size is, maybe like passport. I think it might be, because I think this is the size of my passport. Size notebook to be my commonplace book, but I've been not great at updating it. And so my thought was like, oh, it'll basically be like a quote per page, and I'll do some like little decoration here and there. But yeah, I only have up to page 10. So I have a ton of quotes marked, but I also want to start a reading journal. So now I'm a little bit torn about, well, do I put quotes in here, or do I just put them in my reading journal? Or do I put some in here and some in my reading journal? I don't know. Well, y'all let me know what you guys do. Yes, story of my life. So many journals, so little time. So many ideas of things I would love to document and keep up with, but you have to live your life in order to document your life, and sometimes you just don't have time for it all. I feel like I put that on crooked. Now I could put this photo, it's like not a very flattering photo because she's not even smiling, of my niece, Haley, blowing out her candles, and kind of make a joke about celebrating or trying to celebrate my niece Haley because I went to her birthday party, but then locked myself literally in her bedroom because basically I'm on my like emergency team for the college where I work, and all the power went off on campus for a weekend, and so I was in meetings like for her entire party, trying to like communicate and figure out the power issue. So I feel bad because I basically came out to like see her blow out the candles and then went back into her bedroom to do more work. So that was unfortunate. Luckily, that's not like that frequent of an occasion, but November was definitely, the beginning of November especially, was like just a lot of work. I felt like I was working every weekend. But I can't complain now because I just had a very restful Thanksgiving break, and I'm going to have hopefully a very restful Christmas break. So what I'm thinking is I'll put that on the page and just, yeah, literally like make a joke about how I tried to celebrate Haley. Oh, that's so sweet, Bertha. Thank you for sharing that. That is definitely something I hope will be the case, that we will, yeah, we'll have maybe a kid someday that is pulling all of these journals off the shelf and saying, well, what's that about? And what does that mean? And I can share these stories. And hopefully, I'm jotting down enough information to jog my memory that years and years from now, I'll still remember. Um, but that's the whole point of monthly journaling is it is just quick little captions and things, but it is pretty amazing how you just need a few words or a title or a quote or caption to bring you back to a moment and to jog your memory is all you need. And that's also why I love monthly journaling, is that it's actually something you can flip through and, tell a lot of stories from, and without it being overwhelming. Like, to me, a monthly journal is interesting to flip through, even if it's not your own, because it's just like those quick highlights of life versus, you know, I have all my old scrapbooks that my mom made me, and don't get me wrong, I cherish those scrapbooks she made me, and they're so special. I actually took one over to a friend's house recently because they were all like high school. Like, it's an album literally this thick. I mean, like, just so thick. And it's all just 1 year of high school. So it's just endless photos. And this was the age of, I think, when I was in high school, we had way too much free time and way too much fun taking photos of ourselves. And my mom like scrapbooked every photo that we took, and it's just us, like, for pages and pages. It's me and my friends like just taking goofy photos of ourselves at a park, which, is kind of funny to look back on for me, but I don't think future children are going to want to see like 100 pages of me at a park with my friends that they don't know. So what I like about monthly journaling is that it's just the snapshots, and it's actually something that you might want to look through, and get a snapshot of somebody's life, even if it's not your own. Okay, we'll have our tea. Well, now I'm second guessing that because I did want to see if I can find that tea bag. I think it's gonna come up nicely. Yay! I think I'm just gonna put this in the corner down here, and then if I find the tea bag, I can stick it here. So I'll just try and remind me. If you see me start to try and put things here, you can remind me that no, don't do that. You said you wanted to save that spot for a tea bag. So that is off limits. we went to such a lovely cafe called Crave for Small Business Saturday, and it was like all decorated for Christmas and was so cozy and wonderful. I just absolutely loved it. And we had, and all of the drinks they gave us were literally in like the cutest little Christmas mugs with whipped cream. And I got a croissant that was a dark chocolate orange croissant, which it sounds amazing, and it was as amazing as it sounds. It was so delicious. And then we went to this place called Close to My Heart to go shopping. And I got a lot of really cute clothes, including this, like, see how these cute, aren't these sleeves cute? The shirt that I'm wearing. I actually wore it in the gift guide video that I'm going to be sharing. So you'll see it in that as well. And then, yeah, I just got like a bunch of cute consignment, very cute consignment shop finds. And one of my consignment shop finds, some of you may know, if you know the brand Rothy's, it's like a shoe brand for really nice flats, but they're expensive. They're like, I don't know, $150 or something normally for a pair of flats. And they were on sale for Black Friday for like $99, which still is a lot more money than I want to spend on a pair of flats. Well, I found a pair of Rothy's at this consignment shop. They looked like they were brand new. And I think it came out to $15 for this pair of Rothy's. Literally, they looked brand new. Normally would have cost me like $150, and I got them for $15. Now, the only sad thing is they are the teeniest bit too small. Like, it was like you still have to buy them because they basically fit, but I probably wouldn't want to walk around them in for a very long time because they are just like a tiny bit too tight. But I just couldn't pass up that deal. I mean, how often are you finding Rothy's for that price? So, anyhow, that was my big score of the day. I definitely want to go back to that. Oh, man, I put that on crooked too. I'm just putting everything down crooked. Oh well, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, a little tea bag note. I know I should just jot down to myself, put tea bag here. Oh, I'm glad that you were able to take advantage of the discount, Deb. If you missed our big Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale, I will have a few more sales, maybe not quite at the same big discounts that I had, or not for as long, or as much together, but there will be a few more opportunities for discounts before the new year, because I know it's a big time when people are excited to be joining. And I just, my heart is really to just make it as accessible as possible for people. Yes, Megan, you understand my challenge of having a mom who scrapbooked. Yeah, I have so many scrapbooks from her. Like every vacation we went on has its own thick scrapbook. 4 years of high school as giant thick scrapbooks, and I'm just like I can't keep this up. And that is why I transitioned to journaling, because I think even though yes, I have many journals over here on my shelves, it is not the same space that it's taking up as if I had been scrapbooking for that amount of time. Oh, Bertha, you're so sweet. So actually, my mother-in-law has a pair of shoe stretchers, and she lent me them because I was shopping with her. And so my Rothy's are currently in the shoe stretchers being stretched out a little bit. So I'm hoping that it works. to help a little. Yeah, that's true too. Wearing them with socks at home could be a way to stretch them out. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Belinda. Good night. Like everything's getting a little jumbled here. Where do I want Thanksgiving? Oh goodness. I'm not loving my placement here. I probably should have organized before I stuck things down. But here we are. I think I could do like this. Look how cute this lamp is. So I also thrifted this from a little antique shop on Small Business Saturday. And basically what happened is this lamp base, I think it was a hurricane lamp at some point and had a top, but it wasn't part of it. And so the people selling it just like stuck a basket on top and it wasn't very pretty. But I loved the base of the lamp and it was $25. And I was like, that's a pretty good price for a lamp base. And I can find a shade or something. Shades, though, are quite expensive. I learned when I was looking for a shade for my lamp online, you know, all of them were at least like $40. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that lampshades were such an expensive commodity. I guess I haven't bought a lampshade in a long time. And anyhow, so was looking for a lampshade, and then I remembered that in my basement there was an old lamp. It was like a ceiling lamp. I think that used to be in the dining room of this house or the living room, and it was just left in the basement. And I basically went and took that lamp apart to see if I could make it the top for this lamp. And I will say it's balanced a little precariously. It's definitely not like well attached, but I'm not going to be messing with the lamp. It's just going to sit there. So as long as there's no earthquakes or something in the area, I think it's pretty awesome and ended up looking really pretty. I wonder if I could, I don't know. This might be precarious to try and flip the camera to show you because it's right here in my studio. Let me see. You're going to take you guys on a journey. Hold on. Hold on. You guys can see my setup. Here's my hanging out with you all with my chat, my little candle lights. Oh, yep, I put my cards up on there. There it is. There she is in all her glory. Isn't she cute? Isn't she lovely? Isn't she lovely? Anyhow, I just needed to share the lamp. I am sure I will share it again in a future video where I'll actually share up close all the pretty detail of her, but I was pretty happy with my little lamp. Had a lot of great mini lamp scores in the past 2 months. Didn't I put a photo of the one I got this month? Oh yeah, right here. There she is. That's my little lamp in my dining room. My little, what's that called? Princess House lamp. So I've got that one, and now I've got this one. And then, yeah, my little candle light warmer was a gift from a friend. And I will say, I do really like it. It is nice in that it does light up the candle. Like, not light it, obviously. It warms it to make it smell nice. But even more than that, even if I didn't put the candle underneath it, I just love the warm ambient glow of a little mini lamp, as you can tell, because I'm just surrounding my entire house in mini lamps. But I do really love it for that. And they're actually, I think, fairly reasonably priced, depending on where you find them. So yeah, my friend got that one. The candle warmer for me was a gift from her for my birthday. Yeah, it was kind of fun that I got to make it my own in that way. Yeah, you definitely won't find a lamp that's that shape probably anywhere else. But I'm very happy with it. All right, I think. Why did I put this here? Who did that? Whose idea was that? I don't like it here. Let's see if I can peel it up. Yay, it came off. That's always such a satisfying feeling when you can peel up a sticker cleanly. So we'll put that to the side and save it. And then I'll put put our hunting photo. You'll probably see how I'm trying to not line everything up perfectly. So rather than creating like a straight line like that, um, or over on this side, a straight line, I'm always trying to put things off center so that basically the white lines between my photos and stickers, journaling cards, whatever it is I'm putting down when I'm creating grids, I always want to break. I always want it to be interrupted and have to like turn a corner, if that makes sense, so that everything is just a little bit off center from everything. I don't want like a straight line up and down the page. I want to always have to be making a turn, if that makes sense. So that's always something I'm aiming for, just to create a little bit more interest on the page. And I hope that as we're designing this page too, that you hopefully can see just how simple you can keep things, right? Everything on this page so far, except for this giant postcard, which, you know, you could have just drawn a box and used that instead. Everything else is just photos and stickers from my Patreon. And then a little bit of handwriting. That's it. So literally just with printing out your photos, having some stickers. You know, if you have a membership on Patreon, you have all the stickers you can possibly need there for you for every season. Every month, you'll have stickers to document. Print them out, cut them out, and then that's all you need to create a fun page in your journal. And of course, if you want to have more fun with, you know, washi, or, you know, get some really fun markers or some other stickers and stuff, you certainly can. But my goal is to show you just how simple you can keep it and still be able to document in a really creative and fun way. Because even though I'm just using existing stickers and photos, you know, there still is a creative and like tactile, playful effort of like moving things around the page and creating a layout and design that tells your story and tells your memories. I don't know where my pumpkin pie sticker went. Let's see. Jean's being a little naughty downstairs. She is. I think Ben left, and now she just has like free reign of the house downstairs, which is probably never a good thing, but here we are. Oh, rhythm to the eye. That's a good way of describing it. So let's see if we can. There isn't really a corner for the sticker. Okay, there we go. Okay, made it a little bit wrinkled, but that's okay. Okay, because I want this to go here, and I also want it to be under the other sticker. So, it's another corner. This. Here we go. Maybe, oh yeah, I'll put this here. No, I keep doing that. Put it on straight. Okay, snag a great deal. And then I'll put a little list of some of the deals that I got on Black Friday, because I am, I'm pretty good with shopping. Like, I'm not a huge shopper, I would say. But I do purposefully save things that I know that I want for the big deal time of Black Friday and Cyber Monday season. And then I just like, is bite the bullet, is that the right word? I just finally, or pull the trigger, I guess, on a bunch of things that I'd been like saving for and knew that I wanted. So I got a few items. I got a Kobo Libra Color, which is an e-reader, in part because I'm doing the Camino in Spain in May, and I know that I'm going to want an e-reader. Like, I need to have books with me, but since it's a longer trip, I can't just bring like a little thin book. I'm going to want to read multiple books, and I can't carry a ton of books. And so it was finally time to get an e-reader, even though I love physical books, and that's not going to change. But I think I could become somebody who also enjoys e-reading. Let me know in the comments if any of you have an e-reader, and if anybody has a Kobo. I'd love to know. Hopefully you say you like it, because I already bought it. I just started using it. So I can't yet provide any like real reviews on how much I'm enjoying it because I haven't even read like a whole book on it yet. But that was one of my big finds. Um, it wasn't that on sale, but it's the only time that it really goes on sale, from what I read. So I did save, I don't know, like 20 bucks by waiting. And then let me think what else. Oh, I got a Ninja like pro cooker, I think it's called. It's like a slow cooker, but it's almost like a Dutch oven that sits in the slow cooker. So then you can put the slow cooker in your oven as well to like broil the top if you want to. And it also can saute right in the slow cooker. So I'm very excited to make a meal with that for the first time. I'm gonna make chili this weekend and bring some to my friend who just had her baby. And I'm really excited to not have to make a ton of dishes because I'm not gonna have to like saute the meat and everything before putting it in the slow cooker. I can just do it all right there. It's very exciting. These little wins of life. So I'm looking forward to that. I think this could be cute just to like occupy this space up here. And then it uses the piece that I trimmed off down here. So I'm just gonna make the end look a little nicer. Yes, you don't have to make any space in your home for your big collection of books on an e-reader. So I do look forward to that. I probably am mostly gonna just like borrow books on my e-reader from the library. But when something is more on sale, and I might try, like Kobo Plus is kind of like Kindle Unlimited, though I think the selection probably is a little bit smaller. But I don't really read like super popular books that much. Like I don't really read whatever the new releases are very commonly. I'm usually reading like older books. Yeah, I am looking forward to that. I did get the pen that comes that you can get with the Kobo so that you can annotate and take notes and highlight. And I'm excited to be able to do that in color. What brought me to do the Camino trip is actually the college where I work. They have a program for students where they take 10 students every year to do the Camino walk in Spain. And since they started the program 3 years ago, and since they started, I've kind of been hinting that like I would really be interested in doing the Camino. I love to travel, and I've taken students to other countries before and have experience with that. And this is the year that I finally got the yes that I can go and be a like chaperone, if you will. But it's just like, they just need leaders who are working for the college, who aren't current students, to go with them. And so that is what I'm doing. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm just reading all your comments about e-readers. I think a lot of us are on the same page, if you will. All right, maybe I'll put my like chicken up here, and then I could do a like summary of the chicken, or I could put it over here. No, but I think I want to write up there. See, if I put it here, then it looks like it's a turkey. So I have to separate it from the Thanksgiving feast. I'm gonna put it here. Final decision. Oh, Karen, I'm so glad. that you're enjoying it. It is peaceful. I find it peaceful. I might find it more peaceful if I didn't have to talk the whole time, but I feel like it'd be boring if I just was quietly pittering away. Maybe we should try that sometime. Let me know. Do you like my incessant chatter? Or would you actually like a quiet session? Or we could do it kind of like the way people do reading sprints, where it's like 20 minutes on of quiet, just like work on your project, and then we come back and chat for a little while. You let me know. Okay, you guys like the chatter? Okay, well, I'm glad you guys enjoy it. I definitely feel sometimes like, I don't know, like I have to come up with something next to say, and they're gonna be bored with me just chatting about random things about my life. And I need to make sure I'm sharing tips and ideas, which I hope is coming through. Uh, but I'm glad that overall you guys are enjoying it. All right, we just gotta find a little spot for our drink here. But I have to save this for the tea bag, remember? So I can't put it there because I'm gonna want to write about it. I guess it could go. I don't know. It's a problem with teeny little photos like this. Just don't know where to put them. I'll just put it in this corner, and then I'll figure out later with my writing how I want to put it in. I think I'm just gonna do a label for the sumac chicken, like just write a title saying like best roast chicken ever, and then I'll write that recipe in my recipe journal. And then for the drink, I'll actually put that list of ingredients in here. So maybe I'll do it like right there. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, so then I'll put the list of ingredients here. And I don't really have a name for it, so maybe I'll just make one up. I'll call it like pomegranate sparkle, something like that. Spritz, pomegranate spritz. You let me know what would be a good name for that drink. A mocktail, pomegranate mocktail. All right, I think this is looking pretty good. I feel good about this. So I really just need to go in then with my writing of obviously my gratitude list. I'm going to put a list of my Black Friday deals here. And then I have like one or two things that I don't have photos for that I'll probably just jot down maybe here. I'm going to see if I can find that tea bag and take off a piece of that to put here. We'll talk about Ben's hunting season, Small Business Saturday, hanging out with my friends, and a little bit about Friendsgiving maybe, or just like a little recap of November. Sometimes I like to do that too, where I just write like how I felt that month. So I might do that up here in this corner. But I think overall we ended up with a pretty nice, simple layout, just layering our stickers and photos together. So I hope that you enjoyed the process and it was nice and calming and fun. I see your comment, Bertha, about did Ben complete his little list from last month's North Dakota trip? And so funny you should ask. So for anybody who wasn't there last time, we documented this page, and Ben went to North Dakota with the boys that I have listed here. And I stuck this little card into our pocket here and planned for Ben to write on the back. And anybody want to take guesses before I flip it over? If there's journaling or not on the back? Okay, 1, 2, ta-da! Look, Ben's highlights. Now, as you can probably tell, Ben did not write these. I wrote them. But I sat down with him and I said, "Tell me the highlights from your trip," in a simple bulleted format, and he listed off his highlights, and so I had him write them down. So I guess that would be my tip for you, is if ever you want some journaling from somebody else in your journal, the best thing might be to actually have them dictate to you what they would want to say, and then you just write it down, because then you're kind of forcing them to interact with you in a conversation. Versus in the past, there have been times where I just like gave him a card and said, like, write your highlights on this, or like write that memory down for me to put in the journal, and then it doesn't happen. So this worked out nicely. I just went to him as soon as we finished our session and I said, tell me your favorite things about North Dakota, and I wrote them down. So yes, to answer your question, we have them written down here, and so this entire entry is completed with all of our fun little additions and flip outs and pieces. This was a really fun page to create. If you missed that process, you can go back and watch it. But it was really fun to document November with you, and I will share the final entry over on my Patreon in our group chat. If you are new, we have a group chat over on Patreon where you also can share your final entries. I love seeing your entries so much. Everybody who has posted your entry, thank you so much, and I hope that you'll continue to do so. And if you've been a little nervous to do so, I hope you see how kind and just caring our community is. And that really is a safe space where you can share your work, and it's a private space too, just for our community, so you can feel confident about sharing it there. But it's just so much fun to see what everybody else is documenting and creating too. um, and just, yeah, to be inspired by each other. So thank you for sharing, and I hope that you will continue to do so. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out, everybody who showed up live. If you're watching after the fact, go ahead and leave a comment, and I will look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Please do tune in for my next video that will be coming out, like I said, on Saturday. I hope that you'll enjoy it. And until next time, friends, keep exploring your abiding creativity and document a life abiding in faith, hope, and love.